Welcome back to another interview on Score Society TV. We have a St. Bonaventure legend. This man still holds the record for steals, assists, 3 points made. Please welcome Marquis Green. You had a legendary career, man. One of the best to ever do, especially for a person who's considered a undersized guard. What did you do to stand out from other guards at your size?
The number one thing for me was to be in great shape. It's a small thing, but a big thing.
You know, I'm pretty sure you got this question millions and millions of times, and I'm gonna ask you for the millionth at one time. What inspired the shorts, bro? What inspired the shorts?
So the picture that goes around, that wasn't my shorts. Something happened in that game that I had to use the alternate shorts. But I mean, my shorts were still that big. They probably like a little bit smaller.
I remember me and Wu was watching you play one day. We was in college, and I was like, bro, how's he going between his legs and doing all this stuff with the shorts on, bro? Welcome back to another interview on Score Society TV. Before we start, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, so we can continue to boost this channel, get special guests. Today is nothing short of that. We have a St. Bonaventure legend, Hall of Famer. This man still holds the record for steals, assists, 3 points made, finishes senior career averaging 19 points. First team in Atlantic 10, played 15 years overseas, 2-time Italian Cup winner, 3-time assist leader in Serie. Please welcome Marquis Green.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me.
Man, what's up, bro? You had a legendary career, man. One of the guys, one of the best to ever do, especially for a person who's considered a undersized guard. Right. And one of the things I want to know first off is, tell me about the work ethic. What did you do to stand out from other guards at your size?
So you know what's crazy? Like when I was younger, I didn't really look at myself as working harder than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Philly in the area, I felt like everybody did the same thing and everything like that. You know, we didn't have a social media, so I couldn't see who was working out, whatever. I just everybody was doing what I was doing.
Right.
But the number one thing for me was to be in great shape.
Mm.
You know, it's a small thing, but a big thing.
Absolutely.
Like, think about it, people play worse when they're tired. You know, so my thing was always to be in shape. I love running. I love the sprints. I love the suicides. And then from a technical standpoint, you got to play defense. Like if you're a small guard, like you just have to be. And it's not just play defense. I remember Jim Klibanoff, he's working with the Denver Nuggets now. He was coaching me when I was like in high school. And I remember him saying one thing. He was like, it's not good to just be a good defender as a small guard. Like you got to have it where it's like, yo, we can't even run our offense, man. We can't even do nothing. We can't even dribble around this dude. We can't even do anything. Right. So that type of impact you got to have just defensively being a small guard and everything. So, and then, of course, on the offensive end, it's the same thing, just causing reckless abandon, you know, getting in the lane, being able to score. Angle guy. So I teach when I teach my guards and everything. Basketball is an angle game.
Yes, it is. Very much so.
Like you shouldn't be getting your shot blocked. I don't care how tall you are. Like that was like one of the things that I rarely, if ever, got my shot blocked.
Why is that? Why like for the young guards out there, let them know why it's important. One, for not to get your shot blocked. Two, how to prevent that, and talk more about the angle part of it.
So yeah, the angle part was very key, because you always want to have your defender off balance, so he can't block your shot.
Right.
So he's always in recovery or chasing you. All right, let me get back. It's hard for him to block his shot. Another thing I do is I jump really high on my jump shot.
Facts.
And then another little slight thing I do is my shooting form. I shoot awkward where it goes across my body. So it's hard to show now, but people, when they try to block your shot, they go straight. But I shoot to the side like this. And so as many times people get frustrated because they're like, I'm right here. Why didn't I block the shot? But I'm on an angle. So it's all these little tricks that you can, you know what I mean, be able to you know, not get your shot blocked and to be able to shot off clean.
Very true.
As a small guard, that's very, very key.
Absolutely. So one of the things you mentioned, you didn't realize you was actually working harder than others because of social media. At what point did you realize you were though? Like when did you come to, did you get to
When
St. Bonaventure? Go ahead, answer.
yeah, I think when I got to Bonaventure, um, I used to go work out at night when everybody party,
There you go. That's a
drinking.
good, that's a good strategy for you youngsters out there.
So it would be like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night.
Uh-huh.
I would go to the gym and everything like that. So that actually, that's when I kind of realized that. And then in the summertime, I was around other college players and I was going to the track doing sprints and running. And they were like, "What? You doing that?" So that's
Mm,
when it kind of in my head, like, "Oh, everybody ain't doing this." You know,
mm.
I just assumed everybody was working hard. I just assumed everybody was doing what I was doing. So
Yeah. Well, what made you choose St. Bonaventure, and tell me more about some of the other schools that was interested in you.
So I chose St. Bonaventure. Um, so it was Villanova, LaSalle,
Hmm.
Greensboro, Rutgers.
Hmm.
Georgetown was in the mix, but they had Kevin Braswell. He
Right.
would have and he would have been a junior my freshman year. So I wasn't really interested in that because I wanted to play right away.
Gotcha.
Um, and Hofstra was big. Speedy Claxton was really big because Speedy was a senior. He was a senior my senior year of high school.
Mm.
And so Jay Wright was there. They recruited me as like, hey, Speedy's gonna get drafted this year. You can come right in and play right away. But
Hmm.
Jay Wright, we won. You know what he told me? He
What
said,
was that?
here, I'll probably get a Big East job.
Uh,
And at that time, he thought he was gonna get the St. John's job. Obviously, he got the Villanova job. So I would have been there for 1 year freshman year and he would have left. But he was honest with me and said he most likely going to leave.
yeah.
So Villanova and LaSalle, I didn't want to stay close to home. I didn't want to stay in Philly. I knew that from the door. Like I need to get out of Philly and everything
Yeah.
like that.
Same thought process I had.
Yeah. But Villanova had Steve Lathis there, and he convinced my high school coach and myself like, hey, just give me a meeting.
Mm.
Tell him I was this close to signing. He almost sold me. He almost sold me. He was like, listen, I'm gonna make sure you don't go home. Make sure you focus. Like he just really sold me. I'm a
Right.
17 kid. I'm like, I walked out of there like, man, I think I'm gonna go to Nova. Like, you know what I mean? But then,
Mm.
I had parents, great support system, and they encouraged me to, hey, you don't just make decisions emotionally and everything like that.
How important was it for you not to stay in Philly, and why? Because I think that's a big thing when it comes to just finding your own way as not only a basketball player but as a young adult. Can you
I
elaborate on that for me?
Yeah, I just know me. And at that time, everybody was staying home. You had the
Mm.
Lingard, Nelson, Marvin O'Connor, Sewell.
Hmm.
Like everybody was staying home. But I just know me. I know I need to leave.
Right.
I had a great social life in my high school. I could be focused, but it's like, nah, I don't wanna I don't wanna even chance that distraction.
Right.
And I
100%.
took a visit to UNC Greensboro. Crazy, I was just telling somebody about this. Because Jay Joseph, who went to North Penn, we supposed to go
Mm.
together to
Mm.
Greensboro. And I had a ball down there, man. Like they took me to A&T, party at A&T, a party at Bennett College, all black women's school. I
Mm.
was like, ain't no way I can go there.
Right.
Like, ain't no way. So I go to St. Bonaventure, and it's boring. All campus, boring.
Hmm.
The dorm I would stay at, there was a gym like right next to it, like literally like walking across the street.
Gotcha.
Small gym,
S-
and then the main gym is like it's all close. Like
Gotcha.
I say, boring. They took me to parties. I'm like, this trash. I ain't gonna have no distractions up here.
Uh, so
Exactly
your
why I went.
key, so your decision making was based off of what environment is going to keep me focused, right? Yeah, I think a lot of kids miss that part of it. They think it's about to be fun. It should be fun. But it worked in your benefit. I mean, like I said early on in your intro, man, you still the leading assist leader, still leader. I mean, you obviously drop buckets. One of the games that I looked up was a game where you scored about 32 points. I believe it was against Dayton. Do you remember that game?
Yes, yeah, I do remember that.
Um, What was your mindset and motivation that game? Because I like to talk about the elite mindset behind it. So yeah, give us something where
Let me
you did
give it.
different.
So my that was my senior year. So my sophomore year, we played Dayton,
Mhm,
and I remember it was a Sunday afternoon game. I remember like it was yesterday,
mhm,
my sophomore year, and we were struggling. We was like in a three-game losing streak, and Dayton always, even now they're tough. It was always a tough opponent. They had a point guard, Day Morris, in like the DC area. He's a tough point guard, really smart. He was a senior, and so I remember just having to be so locked in, mentally, like I can't let this guy control the game.
uh,
I got to turn him over, and then I got to frustrate him on offense where I got to keep him because he was a small guard like me,
right.
and and I just had that mindset. We had a tough win, like a tough win on the road and everything like that. So then in the A10, every other year you go back there. So I remember that atmosphere going back there my senior year, and they had Ramon Marshall, point guard, lefty, North
Mm,
Carolina, and everything, kind of similar to Day, but more linky. And so, man, my mindset literally was like, we have to really get off at the start. That environment in Dayton is crazy. I mean, people can see it even now. Like they
mm,
can get points on you and it's over.
absolutely.
So me being a senior, I was just like zoned in on like I just gotta go at these dudes. Like just
Uh,
the game, you know what I mean? Like there's, we did a lot of high pick and roll. They had bigs that were slow. They have, I think his name was Wallakowski or whatever. So I just want to get those guys in pick and rolls because that was their advantage. They're bigs, and I'm always big on if the bigs are better than your bigs, get them in foul trouble, get them tired. You know what I mean? So they get frustrated,
mm,
guards and everything. It just creates some confusion. Like I'm
gotcha.
big on confusion and
And
everything.
you was one of the first to start shooting them long balls before Steph Curry made it very popular. You was one of the first. Who gave you? I mean, was that something you practiced on in high school? Was it the green light that they gave you at St. Bonaventure? What started it?
High school, I had the green light. If you look at that Coastville game with Tootie and John Allen and them, like
Yeah, John Allen. I remember him.
I was shooting deep in those games too. Like I
Uh,
just, you know what, man? I'm gonna be honest. I just had good coaches that seen my work ethic, and
mm,
it wasn't I was just doing it. You know what I mean?
right.
They see me working on these shots, working on deep shots and everything like that.
Yeah,
Um, that's another thing as a small guard. Like, yo, you got to be able to shoot. You got to be able to shoot deep. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, you got to get guys to come chase you. You know what I mean? Like, that's very, very important to stretch the deep.
absolutely.
So yeah, I never, to be honest, man, I never had a coach tell me, yo, that's a bad shot. You shoot too deep. I never had
Mm,
a coach tell me, like
okay.
professional, college, high school, never.
Now, what was the reason though? Like, right? Because I assume, because for me, right, I coach and I have kids who shoot bad shots based on what I'm seeing from them in practice, right? Like, so if I don't see you practicing the shots you're taking in the game,
Mhm.
I'm gonna assume it's a bad shot. Were you one of them players that, hey, look, like you're showing the coach, I'm working after practice for this?
So and to answer your question, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think about it at that time. This is
Mm,
all if after my career doing interviews like yourself, asking these type of questions. But
right.
in the moment, it just never was an issue. It never came up. Even my teammates never even said anything,
Mm,
whatever.
right.
Because I was working on it, one and two, they just seen how hard I played. You know how it is when you
Yeah,
got to kick these hard. You kind of give some stuff up. Like, yo, he gonna get it back another way anyway.
right.
And
True. Very true.
so
Uh, my I'm pretty sure you got this question millions and millions of times, and I'm gonna ask you for the millionth at one time. What inspired the shorts, bro? What inspired the shorts?
like what's crazy is that's what we wore back then. Like
Yeah,
those shorts we wore.
but no, your shorts is extra long, man.
So they what that so the picture that goes around that wasn't my shorts. I had
Oh,
something
okay.
on it ripped. Something happened in that game that I had to use alternate shorts.
I got you.
But I mean my shorts were still that big. They probably like a little bit smaller. You
Hmm.
know, I'm an over exaggerator to the T.
Right.
So yeah, I was wearing baggy shorts, but I was like, let me take it even further. You know what I mean?
I
So
I always when I was watching, I remember me and Wu was watching you play one day. we was in college, and I was like, bro, how's he going between his legs and doing all this stuff with the shorts on, bro? Like that.
I went between my legs, but I rarely went between my legs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was crossover, stutter step, and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, looking at it now, even my kids, they be like, "What you doing?" And I was like, like it don't even make no sense at all.
Nah,
But
you a legend for that. You
yeah,
definitely a legend for that, man. So
talk
you
about
go
it.
ahead.
Nobody said nothing to me about my shorts. Like I bring it up whenever it goes viral. All my college teammates, we got a group chat. I tell them all the time, like, "Yo, this y'all fault. Y'all ain't never said nothing to me." And they was like, "We did, but it really wasn't that big a deal."
Man. Well, listen, bro, you a legend for it. I mean, it's still iconic to this day, 20 years later. So it was a
Right?
good thing. Great marketing. Great marketing.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Now, after after your iconic career at St. Bonaventure, you pursued the NBA draft. Um, Tell me about the workouts, and what was the biggest hurdles and what you heard from scouts and agents, that was, you know, uh, the hurdle to get into the NBA.
Yeah. So I'm be all the way honest. I most likely picked the wrong agent. You
Mm,
know, because let me go back again. My sophomore year, I remember J.R. Brimmer getting ready for the draft. His agent had a trainer come into the school working him out, and I had none of those things.
mm,
I had nobody like, yo, this is what you need to work on. No agent put, not like none of that type of stuff.
right.
It was just working out blindly, having a manager just rebound for me. So
Mm,
that happened. I went to Portsmouth. I had a little small fracture in my foot that
mm-hmm,
happened at the end of the season that it never got healed.
mm,
Um, and I should have took some time off, but I didn't know what that even meant. What that even sound like me taking time off.
right.
And so at Portsmouth, I just couldn't. I wasn't explosive.
Mm,
I wasn't explosive at all. Like I pick up full court, but then sometimes I wouldn't just cause, and that was my main thing, picking up full court. So I remember my agent saying that, like, they're like, why are you not picking up full court the whole time? You're only doing it like 50% of the time or
mm,
whatever. And I just couldn't do it, and everything. So that kind of hindered me. Um, the good thing with my situation, besides the NBA, like if you you know how in college you graduate like Mother's Day weekend,
mm-hmm.
about
Yeah.
my contract to play overseas already.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
That definitely helped me. So I played summer league with the Sixers in Dallas. Sixers I played pretty good. Dallas I barely even played, and everything like that. But I had in the back of my mind, hey, I'm gonna go overseas anyway, whatever. In hindsight, what I should have did was not even play summer league, and
Why's that?
just because I feel like I talked to a few people about this too. It's hard to change people's opinions about you when they see you.
Very true.
So if I would have just went overseas first, even after that first year, I learned so much about being a pro, pick and roll, and everything. And then came back for
Mm.
the first time seeing me and everything like that would have been much better.
Yeah, actually, that do sound like a great strategy though, because then you would have proven.
It's hard for kids to be like, nah, I'm doing it right after college, this and that. But in hindsight, I didn't have nobody tell me this. This is like later on talking to different guys. Like you coming out of college, you still a college player. But
Mhm,
once you become a pro, that 1 year, you become so much more knowledgeable and everything.
absolutely.
Yeah, that was really my only experience. I think in '08, did like a training camp with the Knicks. And Toronto wanted to bring me in, but I mean, full transparency, on honesty, they wanted to bring me in with like a league minimum deal, and
Hmm.
at this, making more money overseas. So I was like, I'm good. And
Uh,
at the time, my wife at the time, we had just had our third child. We was in Italy, great environment, great support system. It
yeah.
was like, you know what I mean? So I don't have like a bunch of stories of trying to make to the NBA and everything like that. Just because once I carved my niche overseas, I realized that's where I need to be at.
Nice, nice. So, what was the adjustment as far as playing wise? Because I know you wasn't, you became more of a passer overseas, right? Tell us more about that adjustment coming from St. Bonaventure to the pros.
So the good thing was in 2001, in
Uh-huh.
all, we did a European tour as a basketball team.
Okay.
So We went to England, Belgium, and France. So that
Hmm.
helped because we played against those pros and we seen how the game was played and talked to some pros over there that like put us really on.
And this
Like,
was
hey,
when you were at St. Bonaventure, right? Okay.
this is
Okay.
this
So
is
a college team went overseas to play against pros. Hmm.
now you see a lot of teams do that now. A lot of college
Yeah.
teams do that, but back then that wasn't like one of the norms
Hmm. Right.
doing that. So our coach was really smart in doing that, and this was going into my sophomore year.
Hmm.
Played really good. So when I went over there in '04, I already had a sense of how they played and everything. And to be honest, that actually fits my game. The overseas game actually really fits my game better.
Mm.
Because it's passing, movement, and everything, a lot of pick and rolls and everything. So my adjustment was perfect, to be honest with you. Like my first year, I did score. I averaged like 16 points overseas. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Made the all
Absolutely.
game in my first year and everything like that. Um, so the adjustment was good, man, because I really had some good coaches, bro. Like I had some really good coaches, man. Like that taught the game. Like we're in practice and they breaking down screens angles. Like this is the angle to set a ball screen if he goes under. This is the
Mm.
angle. Like they teaching the bigs how to set the screen, teaching me which way to come off of it, how I come off of it, where's my reads at. Like they just broke it down to the T. It was a lot of video. We have like 2 hour video sessions and
Mm.
everything. So it really helped me, my game. The adjustment was great because I'm a student of the game and just breaking it down and how they broke it down was beautiful, to be honest with
Nice. Right. And you played what? You played about 15 years overseas, right?
you. Yeah, so my first 2 years I was in France. Then I went to Turkey, then Italy. So basically 10 years in Italy, 3 years in Turkey, 2 years in France.
Yeah, guys, that's important for I think young players to know, or players who's pursuing the overseas career. Like I wanted them to know what leagues to look into, and then obviously, like you said, having a good agent. I think I had a few guys like Dewan Robinson who was on here. He was talking
Mm,
about how his agent, dropped the ball in certain aspects.
yeah, yep. You gotta. So you have your American agent and you have the
Mm-hmm.
agent in the country and
Mm.
everything together.
Gotcha.
And I guys all the time get to know your domestic agent, your French agent, your Turkish agent, your Italian agent. Get to know them. Get a rapport
Mm-hmm.
with them. Don't just talk to your American agent, be like, nah, I just talk to my American. No, get to know that person. Because he's
Right.
actually helping you more so than the American agent.
Yeah.
Because he's language, he has more sometimes a better relationship with the coaches and the GMs and everything like that. So get to know them. And
How did you
that go ahead.
how did you get to know him? What was you emailing them? Hey, good morning. Just wanted to make sure everything good with you. How was happening for you?
So my French agent, Nicholas Paul, we still keep in touch.
Mm-hmm.
Father's Day, birthday, you know what I mean, whatever like that. But when I was over there, I had a great vet who told me what I just said.
Right.
He told me he's like, get to know your French agent. And I did. He
Wow.
would come to games. When he came to the games, I would hit him up, hey, what game you coming to? Whatever. Hey, let's go get some eat afterwards. You know what I mean? Let's meet up, whatever like that. Yeah, that's all. Just getting that rapport.
There you
Whatever.
go.
Looking at you as like a client, so to speak. And then I have
Gotcha.
my family over there, so they'll meet my family. So it's a
Mm.
different sense. People are human. It's a different type of sense of, yo, he got kids, he got a wife. Like, let me look out for real. Like, let me, you know what I mean? Just
Right.
future type of stuff. My Italian,
Absolutely.
my Italian agent, same thing. Same thing. They will come, they come to the games or whatever. Hey, let's meet up. Let's have some drinks afterwards, whatever like that. Not just a hi, bye. All right, yeah, you good, done. All right, whatever. Like actually get to know these people,
Mm.
thing like that. Because listen, it's a game. They got other players. They got other point guards. They got other players there.
Yep.
You, and it's between you and that person job. They gonna go with the person. Yo, this guy is a better personality wise. He's a good
Mm.
like, good man. I know he's not problematic.
Yep. Absolutely. I mean, that goes throughout life too, after basketball too. It's about who
Yep.
you know and it's about the relationships. I mean, the money gonna come and all the opportunities, but the opportunities come from relationships and how you treat the relationship.
Yep. Exactly. So that was big for me, and
Hmm.
I still keep in touch with my agents.
Good.
Like we ain't on a regular basis, but I can hit them up right now. They'll hit me back. Hey, is everything going? Whatever, like that.
Nice.
So,
All right, so let's talk some pro talk, man. The big thing right now is Bronny going to the NBA,
mhm.
playing for the Lakers, playing for his dad. And, the word around is nepotism.
Yes.
How do you feel about that pickup, and how do you feel about the situation?
As a father, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
As a father, I get it. Who wouldn't want to play with their son?
Right.
Things about like his longevity, his taking care of himself, like all of that's big.
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely.
We had to talk about this, group chats. Just me personally, as a hooper, I probably wouldn't want it like that.
Okay, as a hooper, you would want to make it to the NBA, averaging 16 points rather than 4.
And just knowing that, you know what, these teams actually wanted me.
Right.
Teams actually, what I mean, like really, really wanted me or whatever like that.
Hmm.
But then I've been in that position to play with my dad.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's tough. I ain't knocking it at all. Like I ain't about to scream like, "Yo, it's wrong." This and that. I ain't about to do none of that.
Right.
But from a personal standpoint, a part of me would be like, "Nah, I know I wasn't deserving of this all the way." Me
Mm,
personally. Now, as far as what LeBron did, you know what I mean, to set all this up to be able to do that, hats off for real.
yeah.
Hats off.
I mean, I think that's just the world in general, though. I think we look at the NBA as, obviously, which it is, a prestigious league and a prestigious opportunity. But, if the guy who's the CEO of Nike gives his son a job, and he skips 4 steps, no one says anything. And I think that's what the NBA is. I think it's a job. I think it's people making money out of it. I mean, obviously, it's a sport and it's competitive, but I don't really see any issue with it, because if it was, the whole Lakers foundation is that, Jeannie Buss and everybody else, they get them jobs because of the
I
parents.
think the only thing I think is different is that's the owner.
Right.
That's his company.
Hmm.
LeBron doesn't own the Lakers. It's not his company. He doesn't own the NBA. It's not his company.
Yeah, I agree. I think, but here's the thing, right? Like, so for the most part, for our community, we don't really own a lot of anything. You know what I mean? Um, and I always tell people this: there's a difference between power and influence,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think in our community, we have a lot of influence, and we gotta start to learn to leverage our influence. Because if we always put our hats on working hard. We'll never beat that game, because that's something that's been taught to us. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I believe
Yep.
that. You got to outwork everyone, and that's very true in certain aspects. But if you can get a little push, if you can get a push in the door, and then your work ethic show when you get in the door, it's different. Now I say this. I think he wouldn't be deserving of it if he comes into the game or comes into the NBA not showing any type of growth, right? Like if he's showing, like, he's not working out, or the shot 2 years from now, his shot he still can't hit a three, then I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, bro, you dropped the ball on it.
Absolutely. And to be honest, I would pray and hope that never happens. Like,
Right.
cause yeah, I don't want that at all. Like, definitely
Yeah.
don't want to see that. I don't even want to
Uh-huh.
hear nothing. Um, but like I said, I'm not knocking it. I'm
Mhm.
just me, Hooper. I'm
Right.
just speaking that part. But as a dad, running the business, this and that, hell yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Get my daughter on and everything like that for sure.
Cool. What do you think about the trade with Paul George going to the Sixers? You're a Philly guy. You think that's a good pickup for them?
I think it's a great pickup. I
Yeah.
think it's a great because and this the other part where people are not looking at. We don't like Sixers don't need Paul George to average 30.
Yep.
You don't need to do that. Like
Hmm.
man, flourishing and B is all three of them could get you 20 plus 25 around 23. That's
Yep.
cool. I'll tell you the big pickup. It's Caleb Martin. That was a big
Caleb
one
Martin. Caleb
from the
Martin. Oh
Miami
yes,
Heat.
absolutely. Yeah.
That's the big pickup right there for me.
Oh yeah. Because
That's a
he's a
big pickup.
shooter.
If you're looking at that starting five with Oubre, Paul George, and I'm missing somebody, Maxi
Yeah.
and B. Caleb Martin.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
missing somebody else too.
I got. Let me look at you. You probably are you thinking about Tobias? Because I know Tobias got traded. Didn't he get?
Detroit. But I like that lineup, especially defensively.
Mm,
I like that lineup, especially defensively. I still got Boston, you know what I mean? Because you know how it is. Once you win a championship, it's a certain level of confidence that you're gonna have to be able to deal with stuff and everything like that. But I like them pickups, man. Even Drummond coming back.
yeah.
That was because
No,
Embiid's
that's
not gonna win games. Let's just be
he.
real.
He
Yeah.
definitely not. He hasn't. He hasn't since he played since he's been in the league.
I need him to grow though, man. I need Embiid to grow into his conditioning. Like we talk about with LeBron taking care of his body and everything like that. I
Yeah.
need him like really focus on that.
Yeah. He got. He looks heavy. Like he looks real heavy out there. You
Very
know.
heavy. Look at the first few games last year, and I told dudes, I said he's still not in shape.
Yeah.
I said he's still not in shape, man.
And I think that, and that'll take his game to the next level too, because I mean, he already getting 30, getting MVP.
He wouldn't get hurt so much to me.
Hmm. Absolutely.
I mean,
Because
like he got to take care of his body better. Is what I see from the outside looking at and everything like that. Because his health it's a totally different team when he's healthy.
yeah, absolutely. I'm still looking. So what about how you feel about the Klay Thompson? Klay Thompson going to the Dallas Mavericks. You think that that's what they needed?
I think it's a good pickup, but I also think with Klay Thompson, let's go back to Embiid too. Luka Doncic has to get in better shape, man. He
Yeah.
got to get in better shape. He can't hold the ball so much too.
Hmm.
I think he's very ball dominant and everything. Where they got some young athletes out there, you got to get the ball up sometimes and let
Yeah.
them go and get into the game and everything like that. So it'll be interested. I think Clay's a good pickup, but and just like Paul George and all these other guys, good pickups. But the main stars on these teams, they gotta kind of adjust their game.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. I agree with that. I think, but I do think I believe that Klay Thompson is a great pickup for them. People say that's the next. They'll go to the NBA. They'll win a chip with him. I don't know if they'll win the championship because we wasn't expecting them to be in the championship this year.
uh,
So it's really, I think the expectations is high, but they still up in there. I don't think the championship contenders just yet, but
me neither. And I think teams like Minnesota and OKC are gonna be much better
yeah,
next year too.
I
They're gonna be
agree.
much.
Especially OKC, that group been together for a few years now. They gel. They clearly gelling.
Yeah.
So and now they got the experience. Now they got the
Mm-hmm.
experience. So as long as they don't make too much major trade with that team, that they'd be good. They'll be fine.
Presti has been doing a good job of keeping, you know what I mean, keeping it intact and everything. So yeah, OKC is gonna be tough. Denver's gonna be tough again, man.
Yeah, Denver's always tough. Denver's always tough. They're well coached. They all play together. They unselfish. Obviously they got, a two-time MVP winner over there. So they'll always be. I think they'll be tough. I think they just had a. I think they burnt out. I think they burnt out at some point with the against the Timberwolves.
And Murray didn't seem all the way healthy either. I
Yeah,
think that part too. That definitely played a part.
I want to know who you would start your franchise with, and your point guard. And I'm gonna do point guard and shooting guard because you shot a lot. Uh, and we want to take it back around our era when we played. Steve
Okay.
Nash or Chauncey Billups? Chauncey?
Mm-hmm.
Why Chauncey?
Defense.
Defense. This is very true. Okay. Yeah. He played both
Yeah,
sides of the ball.
both can run the team good. Both different styles. Both can score.
Mm-hmm.
Both can score.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I like Chauncey on his defense end.
Mm. Luca or John Morant?
John Morant.
Elaborate for me.
I think John Morant could play with better players better than Luka can.
Mm. Actually that is a great take on it. I think so too. because he'll let the ball go. I think he want to get guys involved more.
Mhm.
He's not as ball dominant as Luka.
That's not his ball dominant, and he knows how to get his without having to have the ball in his hands.
Absolutely. Eh,
That's key.
Let's go with James Harden versus Devin Booker.
Devin Booker for the same reason. Doesn't have to have the ball in his hands. Not as ball dominant. Can play with other players.
Hmm.
Is but this guy can get 32,
Hmm.
and that has nothing to do with it. And I can still play in the flow of the game.
Nice. I mean, there's the only three I have, and I usually have some pushback, but you know what? I agree with you because as entertainment, as like a young player, yes, I'm gonna say James Harden. But as a coach, I understand how that's detrimental to the team's overall success. And you don't win too much with that style of play.
You're not. Kobe said
Yeah.
it. For Kobe
Yeah.
saying it, that's not going to work.
Yeah, it's not going to work. I mean, it's entertaining and put people in the seats, but if you're looking for wins, you're not going to win with someone and bouncing the ball more than 5 times in one spot.
Nah, definitely not. Nope. Easy to guard.
So
Like,
so last segment, we got a segment called Pocket Watching. And you mentioned the NBA, they wanted the Raptors wanted to bring you in, but you were making more overseas. Can you talk to us, what's the difference? What's a good pay overseas versus NBA would make you say no?
um, to me, so Linger used to bring it where it was like, I forget, it was like if you're making 2 times more overseas than the NBA, or the NBA has to pay you twice as much, or something
Uh-huh.
like that. I forget exactly how it is. But anyway, um, the league minimum at that time, I think it changed. It was like 600K, something like that.
600. Okay.
And then you do call taxes and everything, you low. But if you're making 600K overseas, that's all yours, and you don't pay for the cost of living because they give you a car and apartment.
Wow. And so you was making over that over season.
Yeah, at that time. Yep, at that time and everything like that. So it was like it wouldn't even make any sense to do that.
Big
You know?
pockets, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, big pockets over there, man. So make sure y'all get y'all
It
financial
wasn't.
literacy up.
Yeah, that wasn't the whole time, but at that time,
Uh-huh.
like, bro, I remember my agent and like I said, my wife at the time when we was breaking down the numbers. He like, what we talking about? We ain't even talking about now.
Uh,
Like, you know what I mean, but it's a lot of dudes who do that because they want the NBA opportunity. So
got
of
you.
course, that you take that risk of the pay cut, so to speak, and boom, you know what I mean, have a good year, then obviously get paid more, whatever like that.
Got you.
Um, Now, if I
I
was single, I'll be honest. If I was single, I probably would have did it.
would have went to the NBA.
I would have tried. I would have tried. It wasn't like they had a contract waiting for me or nothing like that, but I would have pursued that.
Got you.
You know. But at this, like I said, we had just had our third child. He wasn't even one yet. You know what I
Uh,
mean? We had a good environment over there. It's like, nah, this, that's not the move.
Makes sense, bro. Well, man, listen, bro. Congratulations on all your success. Like we was talking off camera, man. You still got your hand with the youth, coaching your son's team, training kids. Is it anything else we should know about that you got in the future plans and maybe, something coming out, maybe a book, something like that?
No, yeah, nothing really, man. I'm just literally just trying to help kids out, like
That's
that kids and parents. Sorry, kids and
mhm.
parents just navigating this sports stuff. You know what I mean? What coaches are looking for, what other people are looking for. Like I talk to parents a lot about their behavior at
Mhm.
games and stuff like that. Um, just trying to help people out. You know what I mean? I would want
Right.
somebody to do that for me.
Well, man, like I said, congratulations. Keep continuing success. All right, that's a wrap. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, and let's continue to think elite and together. Welcome to Score Society.